What's up guys, Chris here up on Blackcomb during a huge snowstorm, and I wanted to give you guys my 10 tips about returning to snowboarding after a major injury. My first tip is check in the snow conditions. So here we're looking at how much snow we've had recently within the last week. If it's going to be soft packed, almost powdery, hard pack, ice or slush, where on the mountain the freezing level is. As you can see here today, we're in the middle of a snowstorm. We've had 2 meters of snow in the last week. So yeah, it's really soft conditions today, so that's easier on the joints, more forgiving, less chance that you're gonna catch an edge, and if you do fall, then less chance you're gonna hurt yourself. Tip number 2 is choosing the right gear setup. I chose a kind of all-round board, symmetrical. The reason for that is so that I'll be able to ride switch. And it's important that when you're getting back into a sport, you want to be able to build up the muscles equally on the left and right side of your bodies. And snowboard shape is also important as well. The rocker is going to be a little bit more forgiving if you're not quite as experienced and you want to try to minimize those edge catches. Camber is going to give you a bit more of a natural feel if that's what you're used to. And if you're comfortable with that, then do that. But if you're not sure, maybe better to lean towards the rocker side of things. So yeah, I got the Burton Process. She's old, she's loose like a noodle. Definitely be pretty forgiving. Maybe not super responsive, but in this soft snow, it should work out. Whoa, that's thick. So tip number 3 is making sure that you get your body, and more specifically the area that you've injured, nice and warmed up. For me with the knee injury, I spent about 15 minutes at home on the bike, just on nice low resistance, and it's a really good low impact way to warm up the muscles in that area. And similarly, when I got on the mountain, did the first lap about half speed, just really focusing on completing the turns and warming up that lower body, so really bending those knees into the turns. Yeah, making sure that I was ready to go. Next tip is picking the right terrain for your ability level and the snow conditions. So always got to think that you want to go a little bit easier than what you would normally. I'm just going on all the greens today, just getting into it a bit more. You know, if it's icy, anything like that, then just notch it back a little bit, because you don't want to be that guy that gets hurt on his first couple days back. Probably gonna want to stick towards the groomed runs. You can usually see this online, where they'll have a map or a list of runs that have been groomed versus ungroomed, and also thinking about how far away from the downloads you are, just in case, you know, something happens, a little niggle pops up, or you just want to go down because you're feeling tired. Some of the areas around the bigger mountains require quite a long distance just to get back to where you can download, so try to stick in the main artery and away from some of those peripheral areas. This morning we started off with a lot of low cloud and poor visibility, and that just means that you're not going to see the snow as well. You're not going to have as good definition, and then any type of like bumps or any hazards you're not going to see till later on. Tip number 5 is who you're going to be riding with, if anybody at all. Ideally, you want to go with somebody that is a little bit below your level, and that way it'll just keep you moving along nice and slow without pushing yourself too much. Yeah, I made this mistake going up with Kevin from Snowboard Pro Camp and TJ from Board Archive on my second and third day back. Those guys can rip. Yeah, and what ended up happening is I went and did some terrain, which I probably shouldn't have, a little bit too tight and technical. Had a couple of bails, and at the time my knee felt okay. But then later on that night, I did start to feel, you know, it wasn't 100%. Tip number 6 is how long should you stay up the mountain? Keeping in mind when you go to snowboarding from other sports, it does use the muscles a little bit differently, and so therefore they're gonna get tired a bit quicker. For me, I've just been spending usually about 2 or 3 hours up, kind of doing about 4 to 5 laps. This tip is more of a general one, and the idea being not to push yourself too much too early. What I find is useful is just to remind yourself how long it took to get to this point, finally get your snowboard back on and get out there. For me, it was about a year, and so there's no need to push myself. Should just go out and enjoy my time on the mountain. Doesn't matter if I'm going fast or slow, just being outside in the snow and in the mountains. Yeah, it's awesome. The next tip is to take lots of short breaks over the course of the day. Go inside, drink some water, have a snack, that type of thing. And not only is that going to keep you a little bit fresher, it's also going to stop you from getting cramp and enjoy the day a bit more. And next tip is knowing when to call it a day. So when you're coming back to snowboarding, your endurance and your muscles aren't going to be where they were. And so you do want to take it easy, give your muscles a chance to build up and not push yourself too early, too quickly. There's nothing wrong with taking the gondola down. Oh, this is my stop. Well, next tip is at the end of the day, you want to do some type of low impact warm down. So the two main ones that are recommended are swimming and biking. So stationary, or you jump out on your bike and go for a cruise. This is a great way just to warm down your muscles, get the lactic acid out, and just to help everything move in the correct kind of way without being under too much force. I coupled this out of necessity with walking my dog, which is also pretty good. You just take it nice and easy. Dog's got to be walked. Don't want it pooping around the house. Good girl. So the last one would just be talking with your medical professionals, orthopedic surgeon or physio, whoever, just discussing wearing a brace or some type of support when you return to sport. It will depend a lot on the injury and how severe it was. Always better to go conservative and get one, but I know a lot of them, especially the knee braces, they run north of $1,000, so it is quite the investment. But if it's going to keep you on the mountain and stop you re-injuring yourself, which has got to be the worst thing possible, then it's worth it. Well, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you guys found these tips useful. Just remember, with your body, always better to be safe than sorry, and reintroduce yourself slowly and just being really mindful and aware of what's going on with your body. The work you do before you return to the sport is definitely going to pay off once you get out there. So get in the gym, get some stretchy bands, get a yoga mat, do some yoga classes even if you're terrible at them. Yeah, and just really trying to build up your core, your balance, and then obviously the strength around your injured area. If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys soon.